Hello, ladies and gentlemen, what is going on? It's your boys, izlogic.business, welcome back to another episode of Pokemon Shield. We're in the Crown Tundra for this episode, and we were told at the end of the last episode to go out of Freezington to the Giant's Bed in order to meet up with the mayor to get some info. And we just get this nice little pan over to something here which we can look at, but I'm going to ignore it for now because I want to do the main storyline, and that's something that we can do kind of as an afterthought, I guess you would say, for essentially later. Now, before we go any further, I'm just going to catch one of these. Don't ask me why, but this is going to be very important towards the latter part of this playthrough, and I kind of would like it just so that we have one, you know? Cragnar, while it is gonna lose in a battle to a Arcanine, it's still very strong, so we're just gonna crunch straight through its health and actually just capture it. Now, if I remember correctly, I don't have many balls in hand. That sounds quite a bad sentence to say out loud. I do have the 2 Master Balls. And, spoiler alert, I'm recording this at a later date to when the first batch of episodes came out. They were all done at one go. This episode onward is kind of fresh. So I'm going to do a batch right now today. And that is going to be the extent of what I do. Let's get a load of these out and then work on some more analysis for the World Championships. So, I'm going to throw a quick ball here. I also need to grab some more Pokeballs so that we can do this actually a bit more easily, because we're going to need them. I'll put it that way. We're going to need quite a lot of balls. Oh, I hate that I worded it like that. We can use some Premier Balls. We've got 10 of these figures. Yes, if you want to know something, I'm actually going to tell you a secret. Ever since Pokemon Emerald, I've done this thing. Like, on the Game Boy, obviously, you don't have the X and the Y key, but you do have the A and the B. So, what I've done is, since then, I've always done a thing where I bring it in close, spin this sort of stick, and then spam these around. And that's honestly really fun to me, because I just feel it makes capturing Pokemon easier. And obviously, it doesn't, but I've always done it. It's sort of a fun thing to do, as I do it right now when we catch the Cragnar. I do it how I've always done it. And essentially, whenever the Pokemon goes into the ball, I then just start button mashing A. And it usually works out for me. Anyway, we've caught this Cragnar, and you're probably wondering, what's the use of it for us? You'll see later. That's all I'm going to say. And we're going to continue on with this Let's Play. So we're going to go through the Giant's Bed over this way. And we enter over here, and there's this nice big temple. We'll ignore that for now. Don't need to pay that any sort of attention just yet, anyway. And coming through here, there's a lot of new Pokemon. That Nidoqueen we just saw is brand new. There is a raid over here at the Frost Point Field. There's a little Jinxie as well. Let's see what's in here. That's an Elekid. We'll see about that later. Though I may capture it. Who knows? Anyway, we're entering the Giant's Bed once again, and we're gonna walk through here till we see someone that we're after. And what do you know? Here he is. Here's Mr. Mayor. What does the mayor want to say to us? Alas, this field is no good either. The soil is barren. No crop could possibly grow here now. Perhaps the lands of the Crown Tundra truly are beyond hope. What's this? Oh, our dear visitor. What brings you here? You want to learn about the loyal steed of the King of Bountiful Harvests? Well, this is hardly the place for storytelling. Come to my home in Freesington. It's better to have a nice chat in the warmth after all. Please visit whenever you are ready. I'll be waiting. This guy wants to talk to us, so we're just gonna fly back to Freesington. And we're going to advance this storyline quite nicely. Before we do, I'm going to go in here, heal up big arcs, and that's that. And we'll go speak to Mr. Whatever you have it. And this part of the story is actually quite interesting because, spoiler alert, as I've said, I've already done this entire DLC, and I've done anything that's offered to us. So we're gonna go into this guy's house. You want to learn about the King of Bountiful Harvest. Its head has become massive. You say that's the way the king's supposed to look? Now that you mention it, it does resemble the design on our town souvenir shirts. But you speak as if you've seen the king with your own two eyes. That statue's been broken since I was a child. Oh, of course, you wanted to learn about the loyal steed of the King of Bountiful Harvests. Well, I don't know why you'd be interested in such a thing, but come then, follow me. So we're gonna learn about his steed. An old book I read long ago said the king's loyal steed was particularly fond of a certain special vegetable. But my memory isn't what it used to be. I can't recall what exactly the steed so desired. I think it best that you search on the bookshelf over there if you want to find out any more. So we'll go check out this bookshelf, and it's story time with Israel. Everyone loves story time with Israel, and there's all kinds of books about the Crown Tundra. Which books will you read? The King of Bountiful Harvest, the King's Proud Steed. We'll read that. The Reign of Unity, the Hardy Crops of the Tundra. Try the Freesington Snow Samba. Town Records. Tourism in initiatives. Why am I struggling to say initiatives? Jesus. Anyway, let's read the town records. Freesington Souvenir Brainstorming Sessions. Minutes taken by town's tourism lead. We got a lot of submissions in our last round. So, our thanks to all who contributed ideas. We're settled on an idea for a new Freesington souvenir, sure to lure in more visitors. A shirt featuring our own King of Bountiful Harvests. By reusing the artwork from some old documents, we should be able to design costs low to keep them. Do you want to read any of the other books? Yeah. Try Freesington Snow Samba. Isn't it tough dealing with the cold here on the tundra, with temperatures seeming to drop lower and lower every passing year? While it's tempting to stay indoors where it's cozy, don't forget to move that body too. Try the Freesington Snow Samba today and get your body moving to stay warm all winter. Lift both hands in the air, wave here, wave there, bow low, touch your toes, and freeze. Then up we pop to the start, all once more. From a circle with friends, and don't be shy, the Snow Samba will keep you young at heart. Yeah, that was a fun book to read. The Hardy Crops of the Tundra. While carrots can be grown in the Crown Tundra, they are rather unusual growth habits. When grown beneath the heap snow, they hardly roots tend to develop into ice root carrots. When grown in tracks close to where many souls are laid to rest, shade root carrots will be your crop. Shade root carrots are the favorite treat for many ghost-type Pokemon, while ice-type Pokemon seem to delight in eating ice root carrots. According to an old fairy tale, the steed that the King of Bountiful Harvest rode upon loved both these varieties, or perhaps one of the other. Records seem to contradict one another, with some stories speaking of a white steed delighted in ice root carrots, and the other mentioning a black steed devouring shade root carrots. So that's a big interesting thing that we needed to know. Let's continue reading the rest of these books. Through these reigns did the king send its power in order to tame and control its proud steed. The reins, in fact, were made by the hands of the people, in thanks for the plenty brought by the king. Those reins bound not only by the horse and the king to one another, they bound the people to the king as well. At the dawning of each new year, we must never forget to gift the king with this offering. Let the radiant flower and the mane of the steed be woven together to bind us all in faith. Let the secrets of this sacred art be passed from parent to child to grandchild and never forgotten. So we're learning a lot here, and we can learn about the king's proud steed. The horse Pokemon gave over its power to serve the king and carry it hither and thither. The two even became one for a time, combining their strengths to create a forest in a single night. This proud steed had been a wild thing once, ravaging the village crops and causing much woe. But the king in all its greatness brought this fierce creature to a heel and secured its loyalty. And for each among us who claims the steed's hide was black as the midnight gloom in which ghosts appear, there is another who claims it was white as a block of solid ice. None alive can now say which is the truth. Would you like to read more? Well, we've got one more book to read. We might as well read it. The king was a great Pokemon that brought abundance to our cold land. With a sweep of its right hand, the land would be blanketed in verdant grasses and blooms. With a sweep of its left hand, the fruits of the fields would ripen and grow heavy. Its great crown of green gleaming, the king galloped across the land astride its proud steed. And in their footsteps, buds would burst from the soil, and rich life was born across the region. And so we worshipped the Pokemon and paid it all due tribute as king. So we've read all the books here. Let us continue to see what we have as we go speak to Mr. Mayor once again. If you want to learn about the loyal steed of the king, read the books on the bookshelf. We did that. Let us leave. And what do we find out? We see Calyrex standing over there, beckoning us to go see it. So, in the next part, you know what's happening here. We possibly could be interrupted, possibly not. We're gonna go speak to Calyrex and see what it wants us to do next. So if you enjoyed this part, leave a like down below, subscribe if you're new around if you want to, and I will see you guys later. Peace out.